What's up, Cowboys fans? B. Elliott here, letting you know my memorabilia collection is available on Fanatics.com. Check it out.
Where them haters at? Where them haters at? Boy, that game was ugly, was it not? I told you, win, lose, or tie, I'm going to be live, baby. We're going to talk about this shit. The Green Bay Packers, boy, they smoking on that Cowboy pack today. Thanks to Aaron Rodgers and that bad man over there again. I've got post-traumatic stress disorder from Aaron Rodgers. If anybody else can relate with me, tap in today. We got to talk about this shit, y'all. So I wait for my man Bob to tap in here. Y'all tap in. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you've seen. We're going to go over these stats from this game. And we know all the haters are here to crawl up on the timeline to let us know, hey, man, just a heads up. You know, we were watching the game too. So y'all can tune in with us, baby. Keep it football here. We just going to flick you like a booger. But 31-28, Green Bay Packers in the frozen tundra in a nail-biter overtime. Some questionable calls in that game, but I'll tell you, just like I said before, the keys to the pregame were stop the run and the referees are the second opponent. And we did not get it done today, baby. That's it, quite frankly, y'all. So y'all tap in with your boy. Let me know what you see. Let's get some shout-outs. Who's rolling with us. Green Badges, where you at? Brandy says, that game got me hot. Me and you both. Me and you both. Mark says, why the fuck our team got to be so ass? I don't know, man. I think a lot of that was coaching in there. Maybe a little play calling. Maybe if we're sticking to the run, maybe we getting 5 yards a run and we're not 3 and out. I don't know. Could be a different eye test for somebody else. Brady says, terrible fourth down decision in OT. Also, refs are garbage. Well, we can't put it on the refs. I told you that before here. We cannot do that. But, yes, does he go for it? Do we go for the field goal? He's been aggressive the whole game long, so why not change it up? He's going to stick with it. He was going for fourth down. He was going for those third down conversions. He was being aggressive. It didn't pan out on that one. Just like it didn't pan out for the Seahawks when they should have ran it. You know how that works, though, right? But let's get some more shout-outs. Hey, Tanya, I see you tapping in. Green Badges are tapping in here today. And he says that was a poor showing after a bye week on a 3-16. Yeah, well, Dak's 2 picks in the first quarter didn't help. You know, Dak is running my blood pressure up a little bit here. You know, those 2 picks actually resulted in 14 points. So I don't know if we're being so much disciplined on that side of the ball. Dak throwing into double coverage. Now, we know CD missed the route. We know the 88s don't do that. We've still got some problems, but you cannot ever count out Aaron Rodgers. And that's why I said it was going to be important for us to look at how do we come out in the first quarter, which ended in 0-0. Mark says, the refs call everything on us in the clutch and nothing on them. Well, I'm telling you, we cannot allow that to be. We cannot allow us, the staff can't allow our team to be in that kind of position. We cannot be barking at the referees. We got to come to expect that. You know, we cannot hang our towel on waiting for the refs to give us the right call for it to go in our direction. That's right. Dead man walking won this game. He said it in the media earlier prior to this week that he was counted out and everybody had them out. A lot of folks were saying that this could be a trap game. But it was the perfect storm, and it didn't help when our quarterback goes in and throws 2 picks. Let's go over some of these stats, and let's just take a look at some of the team stats here. Oh, both teams over 420 yards. So a lot of offense, no doubt. Can we stop the run? Aaron Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns, I believe. We weren't able to stop the run or Aaron Rodgers today, and that, quite frankly, was the difference when you look at those 2 picks that Dak Prescott threw in that first quarter. Only 2 sacks on each side of the ball, 2 fumbles lost by Green Bay, and then 2 picks by Dak Prescott. Quite frankly, that's it in a nutshell. We can't even hang our hat on the referees calling that, man. Shell says, sometimes it's hard to be Cowboys fans. Stupid penalties, shit coaching calls, and slanted officiating. It's the same old thing I've been hearing for I don't know how many years. So I know a lot of Cowboy fans, all my Cowboy cousins, it's going to be a tough week as we get drugged through the mud in the media. But I'll tell you, don't lose any sleep because it's the typical Dallas Cowboys team that we've seen in big games. I told you going in on Veterans Day, I said that, hey, what does the marching orders of this leadership look like with this team? Are they going to be able to go into the battlefield and execute? Not so much. And where was our defense at to begin with, right? A lot of folks are saying they don't even want to hear about our defense anymore because, quite frankly, they only had 2 sacks. Is that right? Yeah, 2 sacks on both sides of the ball. Where's my man Bob at, baby? He says he ain't got no link. I'm going to just place the link in the chats, Bob. That way you can jump on and get in the show here with us. But if you're just tuning in, the Dallas Cowboys took an L, baby, by Aaron Rodgers. That's right. He's still a bad man against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't like it any more than y'all like it. But it was the perfect recipe for Mike McCarthy going back into the frozen tundra against his old team. And what better of a way to spur, these ratings as we got the Vikings next week on the slate, y'all. And did y'all happen to see the Vikings in the Bills game today, by the way? Roy says, what the fuck? Should have kicked the field goal. We kick a field goal. It's just outside of Mayhurst's range, and he doesn't make it. They get the ball there anyway. I know it's a weird way of looking at it, but McCarthy was aggressive all game long, and I believe that's why he stayed true in that moment and continued to go on it on the 4th down. Miller says, we choke. I don't know about choking so much as I know about we got gashed and we couldn't stop the run. I told y'all that was one of the keys. That was my very first key to the game. It's been for the last 5 or 6 weeks if you've been following me here. Can the Dallas Cowboys stop the run? They ran over 200 yards on this defense. This finger-licking defense starting to look like a little Dairy Queenish, if you ask me. I don't know. Y'all tap in and let me know. Colton is saying Parsons was absent today. Didn't look like himself. Playing a tough team next week. Some big things need to change. I hear you, baby. What did y'all see out there? Why was Micah not getting to the ball? Where are all my football experts at? All my couch coaches that tap in, and y'all know y'all can manage Jerry's checkbook better than him. Let me know. What did you see out there on Micah Parsons? Why was he unable to get to Aaron Rodgers today, y'all? I'm with you there, Facebook user. But why it had to be Aaron Rodgers? I'm with you. He's a bad man. I've got post-traumatic stress disorder still from 2016. If you've been around through the Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott area, you'll understand what I mean. But there he is, late but fashionably.
The link you gave me was broken. I had to go into the chat here to get into it.
Yeah, I might have got it wrong.
That's all right. We got a lot of things wrong today.
Yeah, we damn sure did, especially allowing them to run over 200 yards on us and allowing, Aaron Rodgers in his passing game amongst this one guy. What's his name? Watson? I told you it was some no names over there. Where did that guy come from? He had like about 4 touchdowns or something, didn't he? Let's take a look at the stats.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns today. The thing is, Anthony Brown kind of whiffed. And when he whiffed, he gave his body up and he hurt himself because he slammed his head into the ground. Then after that, we don't have a lot of great rotation in our cornerbacks and our safeties. We just got burnt. And Aaron Rodgers, let me tell you, I've said it for years, man. Fuck Brady. I know he's got rings. I get it. He's had some great teams. When it comes down to it, the most dangerous quarterback in the NFL has been and probably always will be Aaron fucking Rodgers. Because if you give that guy 30 seconds of time and one of the worst offenses in the fucking world like he's got right now, he can win a game. And he did it. And on top of that, it showed that our quarterback is a little bit suspect in some situations. Now, granted, the interceptions aren't all on him, but his decision-making isn't what it used to be. And with our line blocking as well as they are, with Pollard doing as well as he did, we should have won this game in so many different ways, but we just couldn't put our foot down on their throats and put it away. And that's bullshit. You give him any time, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I hear you, Mark. I know everybody's upset, but the picks resulted in points. It didn't matter that we scored points and caught up. We gave them points on the board. Those turnovers resulted in points, ultimately resulting in a loss.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things there that we're going to obviously have to work on. The ability to stop the run. I don't really know what the problem is. I know the second level, and I've been saying this all year, our middle linebackers are suspect as hell. It's bad play. Apparently Anthony Barr being out was an issue. Maybe a little help on the back end would have been cool, but I didn't see our defense doing anything because apparently Micah Parsons is hurt. But even then, our team should have been stepping up and doing some other things. We can't just rely on that one kid to do what we needed him to do. And he was obviously hurt. I like that they kept him in linebacker instead of rushing him all the time, but we just got outperformed today and we were exposed in many different ways. So it's a shitty feeling, but it's also a reality. I'm glad I'm not on the team.
That's right. I hear you, baby. Now, we know the Eagles want to crawl up on the timeline. We were watching the TV too, baby. We know you don't have to come here and report it, baby. We're looking for solution identifiers, not problem identifiers here on Build Different Group. But if you're tapping in, let us know where you're watching from. Give us a comment and give us your thoughts as we go through the rest of these stats. I mean, Christian Watson, 4 receptions, 107 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not even talk about 2 picks. Let's talk about this secondary. I mean, Anthony Brown went out with a concussion. Now, I think that was by design because his ass got burnt like some toast again. I don't know if it's just me. How does Anthony Brown still got a job on this team? But anyway, he went out with a concussion, and then we seen Kelvin Joseph come in. Now, did it seem like it was just me, or were they picking on Kelvin Joseph a little bit?
Yeah, Kelvin Joseph is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And the reason why I think a lot of us give I don't want to say too much credit because Anthony Brown can be, I don't want to give him credit, but he can be solid in some ways. We've seen him make plays. He's been there. He's done this. He's just not consistently enough for me to ever say he's a good player. But the real problem with him is that he's going to either give or go. And he went today. And if you watch that play where he got burned, he did some floppy shit to make it look like, he fell and he wound up banging his head on the fucking ground and getting a concussion from it. So I don't know. The reason why Anthony Brown is tolerated and why he still has a job is because everyone after him sucks on this team.
Well, I mean, they know he's the weak link. I mean, they kept targeting it. And Aaron Rodgers came right back and targeted Kelvin Joseph on that side after he came in. That's good coaching.
Yeah, and there was a lot of suspect plays being called today too on the offense. I found that to be really, really odd. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to see what a consistent offense we had when Cooper Rush was throwing the ball, because we dumbed it down or Cooper Rush understood the offense so much more than Dak does that he was able to execute these simple plays against these simpler teams. We had a team today that we played that was up on the ropes, that had Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback, that was in fear of losing their season at home. And that was a recipe for a strong opponent. And that's what happened today. But let me tell you, it should have never gone down to that. Up 14 points. That's a fucking embarrassment, man. It's a lot of
saying here. And still, turnovers resulting in points still are points, no matter how many points we score. There's still points less. Without those turnovers, there's no points there. We're up 4 touchdowns, essentially. It's a double-sided argument. I'm with you there, Mark. I understand, but still, discipline. Dak can't afford to throw 2 picks every game, and we see ourselves in a position to win. We already know how that's going to go. Now, granted, Michael Irvin was out there on the Twitter. He said that CeeDee Lamb ran the route improperly. That resulted in help Dak in that pick. But still, that comes down to discipline on CeeDee Lamb. It comes down to the identity of this team of Mike McCarthy that he put out. Grit, discipline, and being fundamentally sound. And throwing picks that result in turnovers is never a good day in any NFL game. I don't care about how many points you lose or win by.
Yeah, that's bad, man. We're somewhere around, I think, 3rd place right now in our division because of this. Giants winning. I mean, it's easy to be all gung ho and feel happy, man. But it seems every season the Dallas Cowboys find a way to bring our asses back down to reality as a fan base and be like, it's not always what you think it is. And yeah, it's the NFL, but
we're going to see, because Dallas has got to go on the road again, right? We got to go to Minnesota and play the Vikings after they took on the Bills in overtime and beat Josh Allen. Boy, that's that Cousins I don't like, and I still don't want to give them any credit because my backup quarterback actually beat Cousins in his home last year, so I don't want to put too much weight on them, but they're looking really stout in the NFC East, or in the NFC rather, right now too. And the way we are set up in this run game, and they got Dalvin Cook, it's not looking good, man, unless Dan Quinn and them can redial and figure something out. How can we hold a team under 100 yards rushing in the game? Where did this defense go?
I don't know, man. They make me smoke a lot. Cowboys always have, man.
Yeah, you definitely got to smoke a little something, drink a little something, baby.
I think honestly, man, like I said, there's enough talent on this team for us to be optimistic and to hold together the facade that we are a championship team. Unfortunately, I did not see much of a championship team on the field today, at least not with stars on their helmets, because Green Bay found a way to win against arguably one of the greatest defenses in the league right now, bar a couple other ones, with an offense that should be putting up points that we did put up and had a 14-point lead on. All of a sudden, that shit just dissolved. Our defense looked gassed at one point. We can only, they can only hold us for so long before our offense has to actually do something. And we just kept giving Aaron chances and chances and chances. And that's what's going to happen, man. And it sucks, but maybe this loss is the wake-up call we needed, just like the last loss was the wake-up call Green Bay needed. And maybe we go on a big run after this, or maybe not. Maybe we find out that McCarthy isn't really what we need, and that Kellen Moore might not be the cutting-edge guy that we thought he was.
Did you see King Sharon's checking in right there, says play calling was horrible. That 4th-and-4 call was absolute shit. I agree.
Right, be red.
Like a pure genius. It's kind of like that, should you run or should you pass type of deal in the Super Bowl. Y'all remember with Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson and that type of deal. I want to go down history lane here, but I mean the play calling. I think Kellen's got a little pass happy side to him. I think we were averaging over 5 yards a carry there with Pollard, but why they keep? I don't know. This play calling. You're right. You might be on to something there. Tanya says bad play calling too. Not thinking enough. Discipline. Exactly.
Amen. Penalties today were out of hand stupid. In the absolute worst times, the absolute worst ways, we gave this the ball game up. Forget the interceptions, man. Obviously, they scored on us on that. It's these little things where we have a chance to put them on the sideline, and somebody does something stupid like a personal foul or some shit, and then they get a first down, and it starts the drive all over again. We can't expect the caliber of a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers to not take those chances to win a game. And as good as our defense is, we obviously couldn't beat Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers and one other wide receiver, because we had everybody else locked down. That's a shitty feeling.
Yeah, that draw play was definitely working. But going on it for 4th-and-4. I mean, like I said, they were aggressive. Mike McCarthy was aggressive all game in his play calling. And that's that kind of play that's a make or break situation. Unfortunately, it broke us because that turned the ball over, put the ball in their hands in overtime, and all they had to do was at least at that point score a field goal, I believe, and it was game, right? Which essentially that's what they did. Again, the Dallas could have went for a field goal in that play. Then we got to squint our eyes about Maher, although Maher's been pretty much money. But if Maher misses, it's still the same thing. Then it's the other side of the coin. And why didn't Mike McCarthy go for it? He's going for it. Oh,
yeah. I guess it is lose-lose there.
Coin, man.
Yeah. It's lose on that one. But I still believe that kicking that field goal is like the rudimentary thing to do. And I get it. Maybe instead of saying that was stupid call, maybe we should say McCarthy had some nuts and went for it on that. And that maybe. But you only say that when you win that play. We didn't win the play, so that's not how we can hold him. We can't hold him in that high regard. But that's kind of a ballsy thing to do in that situation. But I definitely take the field goal. I yelled at me and my wife were yelling at each other. What the F are they doing? We can't consistently get these right decisions made. And it doesn't seem like we can consistently get the right plays made either. So That's the frustrating part about this season so far, other than some key injuries. We don't know.
And I want to let's address this right quick because we know this
Go
talk
ahead.
is going to come up. You know, we're going to hear about, you know, should we continue to go out and chase Odell Beckham Jr.? Let's take a look at the receiving yards for the Dallas Cowboys today. And I mean, Lamb with what a day, 150 yards on 11 receptions. That's wide receiver one action right there. Now, granted, he caused the pick by not running the route properly, which Michael Irvin came out on Twitter and said, you got to know what's going on. Don't blame your quarterback totally. Still, it takes two to tango. But other than that, Dalton Schultz, his safety blanket, 6 catches for 54 and a touchdown. I had him on my bench today. I got Kittle's. I was on that 50-50. Do I play, you know, Dak Prescott safety blanket today in fantasy football, or do I go with Kittle? So I went with Kittle's. But, I mean, Gallup, 4 for 35, 3 for 113. I mean, Dak threw for 260 yards. I don't know. Doesn't Odell Beckham Jr. make the difference in this type of game based on Dak only throwing 265 yards? I throw that out to the watchers here today. With the type of game that CeeDee Lamb had today, do we need an Odell Beckham, or does Dak just have enough and he needs to make it enough, Craig?
Then make it enough. Yeah, I honestly think what OBJ would bring to, and again, I'm still on the reality train of we've got $6 million, dude. How are we going to fucking afford that guy? But let's just say for some reason someone gets suspended. I don't know, whatever. We get money. OBJ is the kind of guy in the pro column, not the con column. In the pro column, he's the kind of guy to make a huge difference in a game because people are going to have to keep their eye on him. So the only what he can do is the addition by subtraction thing, meaning he can be the slot or the second receiver on any given play, and you have to find a way to roll a safety towards him because he's a playmaker, which might get our other wide receivers and other players open. Other than that, I don't know if he's the kind of guy that can put up the numbers that CD put up today, although I'm still not fully on the CD wide receiver one train. I don't know if OBJ.
Does the guy need to do after today? I mean, 2 touchdowns and all of that. I mean, granted, I hear you, Bob. I'm with you.
A few times.
Figure this out. But, I mean, is CD not already dragging that safety to his side? Are they not giving him that respect? Where are my X's and O's folks at? Let me know. Is that the case already? Because if not, then maybe I could buy into that. If Odell has got to warrant 2 folks on him at the same time, pretty much anytime he's on the field. But is that not happening already with CD? Is that what we're saying?
It's possible. I know, but I also know he's good enough in most instances that if they are doubling him, he can just undercut them and still has enough speed to get open. I also think that we're again, for all intents and purposes, this is officially game number what? This is game number 3 for Dak, right? So this is week 3 for this dude, and we're in week 10 right now. So it's a very unfortunate situation that we've got a quarterback who still needs to catch up to what the offense has already done. OBJ definitely could be an addition to this team, but I just don't know if the price tag is worth him being a slot every once in a while or being a game breaker. Maybe, I don't know. For $6 million a year, I'd do it.
Well, Gabriel's tapping in here. Appreciate you, Gabriel, tapping in. Says OBJ wants to go to a winning team. If he watched this game, he may not want to go to Dallas. Well, there's always that side of the argument too, and we appreciate you for tapping in, Gabriel, for keeping us honest here. Make sure you tap in. Let us know where you're watching from. It's the post-game report. The Dallas Cowboys lost after coming out of the bye week. Not a great showing. I wasn't impressed. 0-0 after the first quarter. I said we needed to come out. We needed to pop somebody in the mouth right out the gate. Not so much.
It's a bit depressing, bro.
Here, I knew it was going to be a matter of time before this came in. Where is Cooper Rush at? There's actually fans out there in the middle of the game saying, "Bench Dak Prescott."
Oh shit! No. We don't want that, man. No, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Donald's tapping in from YouTube. Appreciate that on the YouTube side. We're live in 4 locations on LinkedIn, YouTube, and on Twitter. Donald says it was Cowboys versus the refs. It's always Cowboys versus the refs. I told you that's my key to coming into every game is the Zebras are the second opponent. How do you beat the Zebras? With discipline.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to worry about the few calls that they missed today if we didn't have 7 or 8 penalties called against us that were indisputable. So The referees, yeah, they're always just the icing on the cake for us, man.
I mean, and we get lucky. They missed that one on when did who was that moved on the line of scrimmage, and they didn't call it.
It was a little. That was
a
bit shaky.
You know, the referees are good. They've been calling shit for less than Dallas than that.
Yeah,
we got away with that one. I was like counting my blessings, like thank you God, they didn't see that one.
Trade off. We hope it's a trade off, right? We think it's a trade off, not always, but I don't know, man. I still think, yeah, like we said this in the pregame, where if you're playing good enough, you can outlast and outwin the referees. We didn't do that on the field enough, obviously, to outlast the stupid calls that they did call against us. So, having said that, we could have been up.
Go ahead.
We could have been up. We could have at least scored 34, 35 points today, and just left some shit on the field, man.
Thank you. Facebook user says these refs did not make the final decision. The players and coaches did. Thank you. That's what we talk about discipline. I don't ever point at the refs. I tell my son who plays football, 12-year-old and up, you can't look at the refs. Don't get mad at the refs. It ain't going to change the game, and it's going to change your game. You got to be disciplined enough to make the play and execute discipline enough to where the flag or the foul can't be called to begin with. Sounds easier said than done. I know. Like, I wouldn't know. I'm not an NFL football player, but coming from a military background, it takes discipline to do a thing over right again.
Yeah, I'm a little winded when it comes to saying our team is, we just need to go back to the drawing board and figure out a way. It is a little early. There's some good things that are still happening. We might have Tyron come in the rotation. Hopefully we'll have James Washington sometime freaking soon, or I don't know, maybe the guy quit the team, like you said. We're hoping to get some players back and get a little bit more of a fluidity between our current team and Dak Prescott, and maybe get a little bit healthier on defense, which I thought we did on the bye week, but apparently we didn't. Anthony Barr being out was maybe a little bit more than we thought it was.
I know one thing. We got that Cousins that I don't like on the schedule this week. And it's going to be a battle of the Cousins this week, baby. We got the Vikings. We're in Minnesota, right? In Minnesota. On the road again, back-to-back. The Dallas Cowboys have got to go see the Vikings. Probably the second hottest team in the NFC right now, behind the NFC East leader in the Philadelphia Eagles. We're still going to give y'all flowers. But we got them Vikings next up on tap, man. And it don't get any easier after that, because then we've got the Giants on Thursday Night Football just 4 days after we see the Vikings. So Dak Prescott is only in game 3 of week 10. He better get a stimulus shot in that arm or something in Dallas, maybe that Amari Cooper didn't get, and he needs to exponentially get this game plan going for this Vikings.
That's scary, man, because Dalvin Cook is he was playing today, right?
Who?
They have Dalvin Cook. I was going to say Minnesota's got another running back too.
Cook was running the ball all over the Buffalo Bills today, just like Roger says.
That's a problem.
Roger says, "How are we going to win 3 road playoff games to get to the Super Bowl?" He's talking about the Packers, the Vikings, right? We got the Giants. The Giants at home on Thursday night, or are they in New York? I think they're in Dallas that game, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the Colts at home after that.
I don't know that we are good enough to beat the Bills, and the Vikings just did it. So that's a scary thing, man. I'm hoping that this next week of practice gets a little bit more jelly for us and the rest of the team. There seems to be a little disarray. It almost felt like the third quarter, like our defense was already gassed, and that could have easily been the situation. They just looked visibly tired of trying to find a way to get to that quarterback and not necessarily doing it. I think we got two or 3 sacks today. I don't know.
2 sacks apiece, 2 on each side.
That's nothing to sneeze at. But
the rookie had one, I believe. I closed the stats down. I didn't see who had the other one, but the rookie got in there and got him one. But John's tapping in. Appreciate that's good insight too, as well. Those late games coming up still for these next 3 weeks. I mean, Cowboys not faring well in the late game. Who is this Facebook user says, "You done with that?" I'm not done with him.
Is he
but
done
I'm
with us?
so frustrated with him. I'll tell you that right about now. I was lightweight, kind of like happy. As crazy as that sounds, that Dak threw 2 picks today.
Yeah.
Because I was playing against Dak in fantasy football, and every time he throws a pick, that takes away on his point. So I just share that with y'all because I like to keep it real. But I mean, he still was throwing the ball to CD and those other guys. But I'm not done with him. I'd be done with him in fantasy football, but I'm not done with him totally because I mean, are we gonna expect Cooper Rush to just carry us? I mean, he carried us during that bit, but I mean, we got these Packers. We got these Vikings up next, then the Giants, then the Colts. Then we got the Texans, the Jags, and then the Eagles on Saturday. That's going to be that next big game. So we're going to see if we can get past the Vikings and the Giants and get 2 wins, it's still a great season. But we got a tall order coming against these Vikings on the road, especially they're red hot with that Cousins up there. I don't want to give them too much credit because, like I said, Cooper knocked them off at home last year. And I understand this is 2 different different seasons, rather.
Yeah.
But tall order, I'm not done with him yet. Great question, though. Thank you for asking. I ask y'all, are y'all done with Dak? Bob, are you done with Dak?
Fuck no. No, man, I love that kid, dude. The things that he's got going on are fixable. Again, this is week 3 for him. I'm not done with Dak, dude. Dak would have to do some real messed up shit, man. Like, dude, Dak is just too good of a kid, man. I love that guy. He's got all the ability in the world. We've already seen him do amazing shit. So there's no reason for me to be like, this dude sucks. No, Dak is good. Dak's a good fucking quarterback. He's just been out of commission for a little bit. And hopefully he's going to get back right. And, we have a better chance of winning long run with Dak than we do Cooper Rush. So I hope nobody is thinking Cooper Rush should be playing instead of him.
Donald's tapping in on YouTube. He says, might sound bad, but I kind of want to look at drafting the quarterback. Anybody else out there feel the same way as Donald? Thank you, Donald, for tapping in here on YouTube. Make sure you like us.
Look, let's not forget about those two conversions Dak did. Dude, the guy's a strong son of a bitch. He's a big dude, man. He got the ability.
He ran through the pile, pushed through on that one, and got us extended the 3rd down, right?
Yeah, and again, it's that kind of talent that we know he's got that I think just needs to be unleashed and connected with the rest of the team. That's just not there yet, and it sucks. He didn't have a preseason at all, so this is literally his 3rd week playing football.
We got Caitlin tapping in here with us, Green Badge support. Appreciate that. She's always bringing the context. Caitlin with the context. She says Schultz cost us the interception in the red zone or in the end zone, and CD cost the interception. Later, both undisciplined on their route running. I know it's not an excuse, but I wonder if they could play if the cold played any factor in it which felt like it was 25 below. I don't know. Did the weather actually it didn't look that cold, but I heard it was cold.
Yeah.
Weather is a new opponent for us because we're too used. I guess it would be easier to say that. That would be low-hanging fruit after today's game, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why there weren't any option plays put in for Dak. The shitty thing is I keep seeing these stupid screens, and I wish we would just get rid of the damn wide receiver screens and wide receiver all those little silly kickbacks we do. That shit doesn't really work, man. It's very gadget.
Lining up in the quarterback and hiking to him the ball, throwing it to Dak and running the reverse. I mean, it got us the yards. It was effective on that play. I know the whole.
How many times is it?
I know the whole looking cute thing. I know what you're talking about. It does seem like we run a whole lot of sweeps, but Hector says, I still say this. Y'all gave Tony Romo 10 years. I know who he talking to. But 8-8, you can only give Dakota 5. Man, we're not really going to go there. But I understand totally what you mean, Hector. It's a what have you done for me lately world every Sunday when it comes to Dallas Cowboy fans. For that matter.
Don't get it twisted. We didn't give him anything. We didn't write his contract. We didn't sign him. We didn't draft him. We or take him undrafted or anything like that. We are merely fans reporting opinions. So, we didn't give him anything. We might have given him some love and respect, but that's what you do for your fellow man.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Caitlin. Rodgers is the boogeyman. I got PTSD, man. That is no lie. Post-traumatic stress disorder from 16. I was triggered again today by this game losing. I mean, you got to smoke a little something. You got to drink a little something to be a Dallas Cowboy fan, man, because we got folks out here running around stressed out in the fan base, and yours is included right there with you, baby.
I woke up today and enjoyed a little something that I knew was going to put me in the right mindset should things go south, but an even greater mindset if things went north and we won. And it went south, and I'm okay today with it because I almost said to myself, something's got to give at some point. Again, when do you want to lose? I certainly don't want to lose later on in the year. Later on in the year is very division oriented, and it sucks that we had to lose to the Packers. But again, if we learn from it the way I think Dak normally learns from shit, I think this could be a real big wake-up call, especially for a defense who everybody was saying was unable to be scored on. And we just got ripped up.
Somebody said earlier, I mean, that's the reason why Mike McCarthy, since he went for it on fourth down, was he didn't trust his defense. And Mark, I still hear you, baby. You're beating this drum over here. You're right. I mean, maybe those 2 touchdowns didn't become the only reason, but it was a reason why those turnovers resulted in points that allowed the result of Green Bay Packers beating the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, you can slice and dice it on Fruit Ninja however you want to, baby.
Yeah, and this isn't me talking down to anybody who hasn't been watching football for a long time, but if you have been watching it for long enough, you should be able to sense and understand momentum swings in games and understand that in some ways losing and getting scored on is almost an inevitability at some points in games because of exactly what BG's just saying. When you give these fools continuous chances to stay in a game, a world-class quarterback like Aaron Rodgers is going to stay in the effing game. And that's simply what happened today. We get on a platter. We gave him opportunities to take the home win home in front of a crowd of roaring drunk fans. And that's a pisser, man. We got to take it. We got to take it on the mug, man.
What do y'all think? I think Mark's the one that said it right there. Mike McCarthy went for it on fourth down because he don't trust his defense. Does anybody else out there feel the same way? I was curious. I said that he was aggressive the whole game. Maybe that was in line with his play calling during the game was to stay aggressive. That's why he went for it on fourth. But is it because he didn't trust the defense? I think Mark brings up a great point. It could go either way. What do y'all think?
It's possible again, right? Don't you? Maybe he said to himself, Coach Quinn, is this a momentum shift? Is this a point right now where they're so tired that they're not going to be able to handle this barrage of plays that's coming their way? Let's make sure we just try and get this first down, possibly. But after that, when you score and you kick off the ball to them, your defense still has to stop them from coming down the field and running again and scoring again. So no matter what, we were going to be in a position where a defense were going to have to stop them. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen today. They broke in a couple different ways. And today, I think it was the secondary really that broke the game for us.
Well, we're going to have to get it together because Dallas Cowboys got to get back on the road. They got to fly back to Dallas. They got to deal with this media. Oh, man, Rodgers, I know Stephen A. Smith is going to have a field day with this. So I wonder what Michael Irvin's going to have to say. Man, I might have to just tune in and watch First Take in the morning just for the clowning and shenanigans. I don't know about y'all. I don't like it either way. But the Dallas Cowboys got the Vikings next on the menu, and that Cousins I don't like. And then Vikings are red hot after taking the Bills to overtime today and knocking them off before Dallas took themselves to overtime and allowed Green Bay and that bad man to get us over there, that boogeyman. You got any shout-outs you want to give before we get out of here today, Bob?
Man, shout-outs to anybody today who stayed a Dallas Cowboys fan and didn't throw their hat on the floor and scream. It's a frustrating thing, but NFL is filled with amazingly good players who get paid millions of dollars to not lose in front of people in national television. And today there was quite a few of them with yellow. And
I'm glad you bring that up about national television and all, because I sure heard through the grapevine maybe the Washington Commanders might knock off who is that? Philadelphia Eagles. Is that the next game on prime time? Is that who?
That's the next game tomorrow night, man. Oh. Yeah.
We might just have to have a watch party here. So Eagles, we're gonna be on y'all ass. Y'all better show up and show out the NFC East. That's right. Your Dallas Cowboys look like we're in third place after New York wins. We got the Vikings up next. Then we got the Giants on Thursday Night Football. It ain't gonna get any easier as we approach Christmas Eve when it's all really gonna matter. So ho ho ho, you know what I mean? Dallas Cowboys lose again. It's been the post-game report with Bob and BG, baby, 31-28. Man, what a bummer. You got to drink a little something, or smoke a little something to deal with these Cowboys, man. Y'all drink easy. Y'all puff easy. We'll see y'all on the next episode.